the identity of the one behind all this, why then descend on the entire community to pay for his sins?
Again, putting the cart before the horse. Consultation, meetings that are required before you launch attack is what you are going for now. Maybe the kingpin that is known to them or known to them owns all the houses and the shed, the hut in Okwama.
And owns all the people.
And owns all the people too. So, with that belief, you have to kill everybody in sight and destroy every landed property or even shanties, believing they all belongs to the kingpin. That's absurd. Well, like I said, rascality, arrogance, you call it retaliation. Yes, retaliation that is lacking professionalism. As we condemned the attacks on the officers of the Nigerian Army and others, security operatives, those who are sacrificing all that they have, all at their disposal, to ensure the peaceful coexistence of Nigerians, to ensure that we have territorial integrity and our lands secured, have been killed in such heinous act, an ugly manner. It's highly condemnable, and we condemn it in its totality, entirety. But that doesn't give a justification for the kind or manner of reprisal that also the army have meted on these people. They've crushed the innocent alongside. Maybe, I'm not even sure if any of the assailants were still around in that Okwama when the soldiers launched that reprisal. But we now have more of civilian casualties, destruction of peace, and destruction of lives and properties in that area. And it's a complete damage that all should condemn. We should all condemn that, including the senators. But it's unfortunate you have the Senate president hastily telling us that mercenaries could have been, or maybe the ones that infiltrated Okwama from, which one is the neighboring country there? I know Delta doesn't have any land boundary with another country.
Well, give it to the Senate president. He seems to know many things
That we don't know. And all his provocative utterances of operations, as alleged, again, doesn't amount to stripping the Senate as a whole naked in public square. It's only when they reveal the shenanigans within that amounts to stripping them naked in the open market. You see, selective punishment, it's unfortunate. Maybe they should also consult the Senate president, or you should accompany them in the search for the kingpin. That could be a mercenary, as he has alleged or opined.
Chief Justice of Nigeria to receive 5.39 million naira, that's monthly, and Supreme Court justices 4.21 million naira monthly. Other judges get review as National Assembly approves salary increment. That's body in charge of fixing salaries of public officials. Finally gave it a nod, and that has been approved by the National Assembly. Well, if you ask me, I think it's a good one if it will help curb corruption in the judiciary, if it will promote integrity among their lordships and judicial officers generally. And and I also say that everyone who is in true and transparent service to this nation deserves a living wage, deserves a good wage, up to even the civil servants, the ordinary civil servants.
Okay.
We all deserve to be paid well. And I think it's a good one, sure, if you ask me. I didn't even know they weren't earning up to that prior to this time.
Well, for a fact, I know before now that the lordships, either at the state judiciary or that of the federal, where you do a comparison with other Nigerians and other civil servants or public servants, They are not lagging behind as such, and they are not the vulnerable when you reflect or think of poverty or lack. It's not that they are in penury. They could demand for more, like Oliver Twist. They could be, they could need more. Maybe it's long overdue in comparison with what some people are also getting in other arms of government. Well, it's a good one, but it should cascade down to the ordinary Nigerians and especially the civil servants. You don't just give them wage award. Let's have a new minimum wage with consequential adjustment that is logical, and let us get that paid in line with the provisions of the law.
Let's have this commercial break. We'll be back.
Hello, property owners in your state. Have you heard about OYPRS app? You need it. Download OYPRS app right away. It simply means Oyo State Property Reference System. OYPRS app helps you to retrieve your property identification number on the go. This means you will be able to pay your land use charges and other property related bills seamlessly. Go to Play Store or Apple Store on your mobile device. Download and install OYPRS app. Sign up with your preferred email, phone number, and password. Please turn on your location for easy access. After that, log in with your email and password and follow the easy process. With this, you will be able to get your property details without any difficulty. It's a smart property identification service brought to you by Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development, Oyo State. For more information, log on to www.oyprs.ng or call 0700 696 52637.
Right, we're back, and it's still conversation. National Assembly passes student loan bill. Well, at last, student loan bill has come to see the light of day, and it was given accelerated hearing. And well,
well, it's good.
In case you want to read further,
what of you? Do you know the collateral?
Oh well, I think certain T and C's have been adjusted.
Okay.
I'm not sure which and which now, but I think to make it easier for whoever wants to apply.
Okay. Well, it's good. We are waiting for implementation dates now. The legal backing is there. The Act of the National Assembly has enabled this. It's now a law. The Act of National Assembly. So we wait for the day of implementation. And aside that, the education sector, especially tertiary institution, is in their need of revival and revolution, so to say. So it's not about giving people loan. In senior climes and other climes, absolutely free, completely free, tertiary education for citizens and others who qualify for such. So we should subsidize what should be subsidized. And aside giving people loan to go study, don't relay them or force life out of them if they are unable to repay, especially when they don't get job, employment after the study. Double your efforts on ensuring that they also get gainful employment so that their application for loan or getting the facility to get more knowledge will not be in futility at the end of the day. But it's a commendable move. Kudos to the government and the National Assembly.
And on Jakba, nurses sue council, health minister orders over implementation of new guidelines. Those are the guidelines that are being implemented to stop them from leaving the country for greener pastures.
Guideline from where?
Well, from the government
of Nigeria.
And some coming from the National Assembly actually. Well, they are suing the health minister now, and others, according to the story. And well, if they want to stop them from leaving, I think the best way, we've said it before on this platform, the best way to stop them from leaving is by creating that same atmosphere which has lured them into the diaspora, and creating that same atmosphere here, making them comfortable and giving them exactly what they want and what they need. Okay, it says no fewer than 8 nurses in the country have dragged the Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria, NMCN, and the Minister of Health to the National Industrial Court Abuja over a new circular stipulating new certificate verification guidelines for nurses. And this says that the NMCN on February 7 issued a circular revising the guidelines for requesting verification of certificates for nurses and midwives wishing to go abroad to seek better work opportunities. The council stated that applicants seeking verification of certificates from foreign nursing boards and councils must possess 2 years of post-qualification experience from the date of issuance of the permanent practicing license. The new guidelines came into force on March 1.
Yeah.
So it means you have to
gag them.
You have to serve your country for at least 2 years.
Use whatever obnoxious, draconian policy or regulations to force people to stay. No wala.
Sean, where are their trade unions? They've been quiet.
They've been hibernating somehow. But that can't bring lasting solution. It's just, postponing the evil days or the day of reckoning. If you cannot stop yourself from traveling, from going to seek medical attention elsewhere or treatment, you shouldn't stop the health practitioners too, or use tie to frustrate their efforts to japa when the enabling environment conducive one is not there for them back home. If they all stay here and we all happens to be like you guys that are making the regulations and laws, who will they be treating? Because majority of us won't even go to them to consult them. We have to travel overseas. So do to others what you want them to do to you. But it's in our interest, as commoners, so that the few ones available can still take care of the majority of us who doesn't have that financial strength of traveling abroad for medical treatments.
Okay, the Abia State House of Assembly yesterday decided to end that collective insult that has been rubbed in our faces by some states across the federation. Abia Assembly repeals law giving pensions to ex-governors and deputies. Well, they said they wanted to cut cost of governance, and while I know that this probably won't be an end to corruption and non-transparency in the system or any system in the country for that matter, but I think for the sake of our collective psyche, for the sake of at least showing that they do have a human face after all, and that they do respect our thoughts and emotions. So for that fact, I think I say kudos to them. Yeah. Abia Assembly repeals law giving pensions to ex-governors, deputies. What you will get as a former governor under this kind of scheme, so having served for 4 years or at most 8 years is let me say 1,000 times more than what you will get in 35 years
as a civil servant.
Having served as a civil servant.
Yes, the disparity is there. The gap is so wide, very, very wide. Well, I am not against payment of pension or whatever severance packages to our leaders or former leaders, as it were. But, okay, before I go to the other side, which is the opposite, it's normal if they've served us diligently and they've been exposed to a particular lifestyle whilst they were being called Your Excellency, Your Excellency, or Your Honor, distinguished. So you don't want them to transit from that height of affluence and enjoyment of life. You feel on top of the world when you are in that kind of situation or position. So we don't want a reversal that is so wide, so that you transit from that kind of lifestyle to now be a pauper or seeking for loan to get accommodation.
Oh, so that's
or
why
begging your friends before you could get a vehicle.
that's why you must continue to fetch water into the ocean to tip to top up the water in the ocean.
If they served us diligently without stealing from our commonwealth.
You are saying that if they served us diligently,
yes,
then probably they might be poor.
Yes.
When they leave office.
Yes, some of them.
And
the paraphernalia of office, you know the perks of their office. They go in SUVs, bulletproof. You have security hits. They enjoy the best of life. They hardly do, domestic chores. Everything done for them. Even the clothes they wear sometimes. It's just to stand. Raise your hand up. Someone will put it on you at the cap. And the speech they read.
Well,
someone prepares it.
The highly revered elder statesman and former governor of the old Oyo State, Dr. Omodudu Oluloyo, is still very much alive, and God bless him. He said something. He said, if you serve as a governor for 3 months, well, he did serve for 3 months. He said, number one, you don't have to steal, and that if you serve as a governor, and even if you don't steal, he said you can never be poor again. And well, he belonged to that generation of politicians that well, even if they stole, their stealing was minimal. And well, Dr. Oluloyo, nothing has indicted him of stealing. So and he is not poor.
And he is still not poor.
He is not poor.
Yes, I agree with you. Now look at why, if not because some of them are Oliver Twist, and they have this insatiable thirst for wealth, for looting. They just believe the country must serve them. Not only them, serve their family. And everything should go to them. They are the first-class citizens. They are the influential ones, or the ones that should eat the largest chunk of the cake or the elephant, as it were. So they want to grab everything. They want to show that class. They want to tell you that, look, we are more than you, and in all ramifications, we are the government, either former or present. We are the ones in charge. And if you don't have the opportunity of being in government or in any government position, you are more or less like a slave or a laborer in a construction site. So they are the supervisors or the engineers that comes to site to give instruction, and at the end of the day, they get more of the benefits. That's the analogy that I will give to that. Why wouldn't they have more than needed or required? You talk of the security vote that they get, that the spending of it is at the discretion of the chief executive. So being a former governor, you know the amount of security, the figure for security vote, now that revenue has even increased or allocation has increased. So security vote alone, the allowances you get, aside your utility, whatever, they get Rado, SUV, whatever, they get bulletproof, prayers in their mailboxes. They will tell you they've not stolen anything. These are perks of office. With that, you can never be poor again. That one is more than stealing. You have, in a subtle way, through the back door, stolen from the people, because the people were not part. They were not privy to that arrangement or agreement that you should have those things. Because you had that advantage and privilege of being in charge to make decisions, not in the interest of the people, but you made decisions to suit yourself for self-aggrandizement. You have not stolen legally, but you have stolen indirectly. So with that kind of arrangement, they can never be poor. Despite that, gluttons, they still have that penchant for wanting to get more, grab more. And one contract, you inflate it, you get the bulk of it. Kickback. You loot with everything you have. Some of them, they are richer than their states, the ones they governed before. Some of them, we could say they are even richer than the region, as we speak. Some borrow to get to power. Months later, years later, they are the ones borrowing the government. And you see their properties everywhere in this world. Still, they still seek for severance packages and pension.
Well, Sean, I once
when they die, we give them befitting burial too, state burial, everything. They are alive, you sponsor. They are dead, you sponsor. We even immortalize, even when they've done the wrong things.
Sean, even Sean, you don't have to steal. Even that indirect stealing that you are talking about, you don't have to steal. You don't have to do it. So you will be comfortable.
And if you see the way they are fighting for the pension,
for the rest of your life,
you will see some executives, chief executives, bragging. You must get me my pension. You must do this. Is that the level of what do you call it, alacrity that you deploy to get the pensioners that are civil servants paid, to get their gratuities paid?
In Benue, they were even organizing medical allowance, medical travel allowance, and what was this other one that they would vacation?
Vacation.
Not
allowance.
just for themselves, and their families too. I remember the new assembly trying to challenge.
And they don't go for verification the way other civil servant goes periodically. That you see them under the sun and in the rain. The elder statesmen, the elderly in the society, they've toiled for over 30-something years. But the opportunity of just 8 years or 4 years, you are getting the best out of the system. And those who diligently served for years, decades in this nation without stealing, you subject them, you even abuse them, add salt to their injury by telling them that, say, turn money, or say, you can't learn. You have not even treated the living. Those who are at the boarding, at the departure lounge, waiting for the boarding pass, are still troubling us. There's no money to pay anybody here. Please, we have our issues. There's money to give you your own pension as former, but not money for those who diligently serve the nation. It's unfortunate.
Another commercial timeout. We'll be back.
ọ̀gá Fẹ́mi ẹ tún fẹ́ ra oògùn ikọ́ ni kí ló dé tí ẹ ti ṣe àyẹ̀wò tí mo ní kẹ́ ẹ ṣe.
ikọ́ yín ìfàyẹ̀wò ẹ wò ó ìgbà tẹ́mi ní ikọ́ tó kọ̀ tí ò lọ mo lọ ṣàyẹ̀wò ó fi hàn pé ikọ́ ọ̀fẹ́ ni àtàyẹ̀wò àti ìtọ́jú ikọ́ ọ̀fẹ́ ọ̀hún ọ̀fẹ́ ni wọ́n ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀ fún mi nísìnyí ara mi ti yá gágá.
ẹ yẹ̀ ẹ́ wò ó kẹ́ ẹ lè mọ̀ dájú nítorí ẹni tí ò lọ kò lè mọ̀.
ẹ yẹ̀ ikọ́ yẹn wò fún ikọ́ ife.
tí o bá ní ikọ́ tí ó ti lé ní ọ̀sẹ̀ méjì tí ò kásẹ̀ nílẹ̀ ó lè jẹ́ ikọ́ ife o. ọ̀fẹ́ láyẹ̀wò àti ìtọ́jú ikọ́ ife. ìwọ ṣáà ti pe nọ́mbà ìdáhùn kíákíá orílẹ̀-èdè fún ikọ́ ife ní 3340 tàbí kí o tẹ *3340# fún àlàyé sí iwájú sí i. ìkéde yìí wá láti ọ̀dọ̀ ilé-iṣẹ́ ìjọba àpapọ̀ tó ń mójútó ètò ìlera pẹ̀lú àtìlẹ́yìn àwọn ará ìlú Amẹ́ríkà.
Friday, 22nd March 2024, His Excellency Professor Charles Chukuma Soludo, CFR, storms Ibadan City to perform life-transforming tasks courtesy of His Excellency Governor Seyi Makinde, FNSC, DSC, GSSRS. Bamu Bamu Jigi Jigi, ìlú Ìbàdàn á tún mètìtì lọ́jọ́ Jímọ̀ yìí. Gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Anambra, Ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n Charles Soludo, CFR, yóò kalẹ̀ ká fún àwọn àkànṣe iṣẹ́ amáyédẹrùn méjì ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ tí ìjọba omi tuntun tún ti gbé ṣe tó tún ṣe lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́. The well executed, completed and delivered Agodi Gate Civic Center and Idiakwe Junction improvement works shall be commissioned at 10 a.m. Agodi Gate is the venue. Professor Charles Soludo shall flag off the road component of Senator Rashidi Adewolu Ladoja Circular Road, popularly called Ibadan Circular Road, at Badeku area of Ibadan Ife Expressway, Ibadan, at 1 p.m. Àjọṣe ọ̀tún títí Agodi Gate Civic Center àti kórìtà Díàpẹ́ láago 10 àárọ̀ ni. Kódà àjọ kọ̀wọ́rìn Rèbádékù ni èyí ni lọ́nà òpó mọ́rọ̀sẹ̀ Ìbàdàn sílùú Ifẹ̀ níbi tí gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Anambra yóò ti fi iṣẹ́ òpó sákúlárò lọ́lẹ̀ láago kan ọ̀sán. Kò ṣe ròyìn fún yẹn o. Announcer Professor Dahoud Shagodoyin, the Honourable Commissioner for Works and Transport, Oyo State.
ọ̀rẹ́ wo tá bá ti parí àwọn project ọwọ́ wa yìí mo need vacation but owó àti wàhálà láti ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀ ńkọ́.
Online Dynamics Limited pẹ̀lú àjọṣepọ̀ BCOS TV at 40 títẹ́ pẹ́pẹ́ ètò ìrìn àjò afẹ́ lọ sí Maldives àti Kenya kò ju ẹnì kankan sílẹ̀. Enjoy the exotic destinations of Maldives and Kenya as gifts to yourself and your loved ones. Follow Online Dynamics and BCOS on a 6-day tour to Maldives and Kenya in July and September and enjoy sumptuous meals, breathtaking attractions, refreshing activities.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni o, jẹ́ ká jọ kọ́ wọ́rìn pẹ̀lú BCOS TV at 40 Beauty Queen ká sì tún jẹ ìgbádùn àwọn ìrántí ọ̀lẹ́gbẹ́ nínú ìrìnàjò afẹ́ pẹ̀lú Online Dynamics àti BCOS. Register now at BCOS reception yàrá ìgbàlejò nílé iṣẹ́ BCOS ní kí ẹ ti forúkọ sílẹ̀ o.
Or at Online Dynamics office number 7 Adepate Abebi Crescent off Idishin Police Station, Jericho, Ibadan. You can also register at mttgoabroad.com or call 0810-273-8145.
Secure your slot before April 18, 2024.
mo ti ní tẹ́lẹ̀ kì í ṣogún ìní o tí o bá ní ìlà Glo kankan tí o ti sopọ̀ mọ́ NIN rẹ àǹfààní ìkẹyìn rẹ fún ọ láti sopọ̀ kí wọ́n bá bàa di ìlà rẹ. bẹ́ẹ̀ ni o àjọ Nigerian Communication Commission NCC ti sọ pé tí o bá ti so NIN rẹ pọ̀ mọ́ ìlà Glo rẹ wọ́n máa di ìlà rẹ ni o sì ní ìkànsíra ẹni mọ́ o ní lè ṣe okòwò ọjà rẹ lórí ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ rẹ o ní lè pè tàbí gba ìpè ṣe àtẹ̀ránṣẹ́ tàbí ṣíṣe àyẹ̀wò iye tó kù nínú àpò ìkówósí rẹ torí náà má jẹ́ kó já ẹ kúrò tẹ *996# báyìí tàbí kí o rìn lọ sí ibùsọ̀ Glo tàbí ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn aṣojú tí ń ṣe ìforúkọsílẹ̀ síìmù tí ó bá súnmọ́ ọ láti so NIN rẹ pọ̀ mọ́ ìlà Glo rẹ kí o sì wà digbí lórí ìlà rẹ títí láé tí o bá sì ní NIN kàn lọ sí ọ́fíìsì NIMC nítòsí rẹ láti ṣètò tiẹ̀ rántí ọ̀fẹ́ ní ìforúkọsílẹ̀ síìmù o.
Unlimited. Conversation.
All right, we're back, and it's still conversation. NLC pickets Labour Party headquarters, demands Abure's resignation, and they also instructed the councils of the NLC across the states to picket Labour Party offices. NLC pickets Labour Party headquarters, demands Abure's resignation. We have resolved to recover reposition party. That's coming from the political commission of the NLC. And pardon my ignorance this morning, Sheo. I didn't know that existed. A political commission of the NLC. Members of the Nigeria Labour Congress NLC on Wednesday took over premises of the National Secretariat of the Labour Party LP in Abuja to protest against the party's national convention slated for the end of this month. This protest is coming few days after the NLC Political Commission declared the national chairman of the Labour Party, Julius Abure, unfit for the job. The commission asked Abure to step down and allow a caretaker committee to conduct its national convention on the allegation that he was planning to conduct a convention without the input of critical stakeholders. Abure was also accused of running the party as a sole administrator and lack of accountability in the sum of 3.5 billion naira realized from the sale of nomination forms and donations.
Well, I remember this particular song, the lyrics. Abaso we degba kafe niyan ele mamu ko tun ma du seriki. Can you be the president and be the chairman at the same time? You are the president of organized union. Okay, you want to go be the chairman of a political party at the same time? Well, some are quick to say, the NLC appears to be a meddlesome interloper in the affairs of a distinguished political party.
Sheung, the NLC is a political party. My opinion this morning, Sheung.
The Labour Party offshoot of what transpired maybe in the minds and thinking of some leaders of the NLC at some point. So the Labour Party is offshoot of their discussion. So it's like a child of the NLC, that is Labour Party. So you may not completely disconnect or break that cord completely, but they serve different purposes, and they should be unique in their expected responsibilities. Labour Party is a political party. NLC is organized, the umbrella body of many unions and workers in this country. So their objectives and goals could differ. And attaining that, you must be strategic and independent, as NLC, independent as Labour Party too. One should not interfere with the other or usurp the role of the other.
Obviously, they aren't, and this kind of tells you that they seem to be one and the same. Only that we don't know which is the umbrella, whether it's the NLC or the Labour Party. And this is I think this is a very big distraction from the original objectives of the NLC to protect the interest of workers. And Mr. Ajaero, for me, has been the most controversial, perhaps the most controversial Labour leader we've had in this country in terms of his alleged partisanship, in terms of his political affinities, which many politicians have actually accused him of. Remember his involvement in Imo State politics and the dose, very unpleasant dose of medicine he got allegedly from the governor.
Condemned the former CBN governor, Godwin Emefiele, who is embattled now, when he also bought the 100 million naira expression of interest and nomination form of the All Progressives Congress, APC, then that he was even the CBN governor. You see, there should be a distinction and demarcation between what is expected of you as organized union president and, on the other hand, chairman of a political party. When your interests it is obvious that your interest is laced with bias, with political sentiment, you discredit even the integrity of the union organization that you superintend over. That's why when you go into negotiation with government or discussion and your position is contrary to that of the government, people pick holes. They raise suspicion. So you are this adamant, you are this opposing because of political affiliation, because of your political interest, because it is not your party or the party whom you support that is in power. That is the interpretation give to your actions. And shamefully so, this NLC president, he has not performed more. Imo internal politics, political party politics, government politics, you are there. That's why the president said you are not the only mouthpiece of the people, of the Nigerians. Because people could easily suspect that whatever action, whatever statement you make, you are just promoting the interest of a particular political party. What is your interest with the party? You now have the temerity, the audacity to go take over the premises of that political party, the secretariat. You are fighting the government, you are fighting the chairman of a political party. You are fighting everybody. And when they fight you, either justifiably or not, when they slap you, you call on the whole nation to embark on industrial action or street protest.
Well, regarding that, while I'm not encouraging any form of violence or political thuggery or whatever, but give it to the Labour Party, they don't seem to boast of those fierce, FT-looking guys that you find at the secretariat of most political parties. Otherwise, would have been telling a different story by now.
Written in blue black.
I think the NLC will think twice before they do that with either the APC or the PDP
or other parties too. The major ones. Okay, well, you see, I just see it as unnecessary and wanting to control things when it's not even required of you. It's unfortunate. There should be framework, internal or external, that is democratic, that checks excesses of maybe political appointees or party chairmen. So it shouldn't be under the purview of the organized union to be the one disciplining or wanting to correct certain things. There should be internal mechanism within the political parties, or if that is not in place, we approach the courts of competent jurisdiction. We're doing things in a very brass, harsh manner, uncivilized manner. You go take over the secretariat of a political party, and you did that in the. It's shameful. It's shameful.
Okay. Owners of properties on Circular Road corridor will be duly compensated. An assurance from the Oyo State government, and the government is saying that the Ajimobi administration actually approved 500 meters setback in 2018.
Let's be hopeful that the compensation will come. But the criteria for the compensation, some have raised suspicion. Someone told me, he said for the land, most of the lands along that axis, the circular road, you know, they are not the heart of the city. You understand? They are not the eyebrow areas. There are many of those properties, landed properties, we have proper certification or certificates to back their properties up. Say you sure say they will get CFO. How many of them go get CFO? Maybe enumeration will do. If the government or the contractor are done enumeration and register of the affected persons at the properties, maybe with that they can get the compensation done effectively. But if you are relying on CFO or this or that, I suspect some may not get the expected compensation.
Well, you know, the Shea Makinde administration, they have a way of being meticulous about these things. They seem to have that magic wand that gets everybody covered. As long as
everybody on board, and everybody's interest will be settled. Either you have your historical facts to the land, to the ownership of the land, or whatever. If you can just justify that you are affected, let's be rest assured.
And,
let's be assured that government will take care of everybody.
And finally, from my end, a 17-year-old girl was stabbed her foster mother to death in Ondo. Well, the girl was said to be mentally challenged, and it said that people had been advising the foster mom to return her to her biological parents. Well, the story didn't say how the girl came to live with the woman. The woman, Mrs. Fumilayo Adelai, she was found stabbed to death while the suspect ran away from her. Well, she has been arrested now, and I witnessed that the deceased was stabbed in the stomach while the doors of the house were shut against her to prevent her from getting help. Blood was everywhere from her bedroom to the living room as she struggled to get out and find help. However, because the doors were shut against her, she could not make it. Well, again, while the girl is the prime suspect, I also say there should be diligent investigation in case she is innocent of the crime. And if she was mentally deranged, well, there's a question you always ask you, and I can actually predict your question, so that why didn't she stab herself?
That is it.
If she was
she's mentally deranged.
But then the police would investigate and find out if she actually did it.
All right. The investigation should unravel the motives for such action. Public funded foreign trips on hold for 3 months. Don't distract ministers with oversight invitations. President cautions lawmakers. I wanted to jubilate the first part, the lead. Public funded foreign trips on hold. I was about jubilating until I saw the rider, or I read the rider to that headline. Don't distract ministers with oversight invitations. President cautions lawmakers. I know we have 12 months in a year, and even if it's fiscal year, it still requires 12 solid months. And the budget will run for a year. I don't know for how many months the ministers, and for how long, the duration that they've been subjected. So what is being referred to as unnecessary invitation in the name of oversight, and how it has appeared to be a distraction. If it requires them going there for complete 2 months, and the remaining 7 months for implementation of what has been justifiably gotten or defended, I'm okay with that. How many of them have stayed for more than 3 days consecutively with the National Assembly members? I don't see distraction. Yes, there could be tendencies of corruption or some people wanting their own fair share to them, their own share of the booty, their own share of the cake, because they knew, and through their scrutinization, that you've also inflated the figure, or some of these projects are white elephant ones, or they just appear on paper and in reality they cannot come to fruition. They are just to fill the gap and to make the budget presentation paper bulky so that some people could loot or help their pockets with it. So I don't believe the oversight is a distraction. If a good intention genuinely done in the interest of the nation, so the Mr. President should allow the lawmakers to also do their job. Please. Slain 17 army officers to get national honors and befitting burial. Delta community now military zone, says police. I said it yesterday, Tola. Now it's not military zone. And when you see inscription of military zone, the next thing you see is keep off.
A whole community has been turned. So
Keep
what,
off.
what about the lives? What are they going to get their lives back? The people of that community. And no one is saying anything. The CSOs, the human rights organizations, no one is saying anything. All we are seeing, well, condemnable, but the killing of the soldiers, but that appears to be all we are seeing. We are not seeing the plight of that community that has had to pay the price for the killing of those soldiers.
It's unfortunate. Labour Party sinks deeper into crisis. No political motive, says Ajero. So what is the motive? It's not political. Is it economic? Okay. All right. Let's open the phone line. 0805 500 9850 0805 500 9850. Our first caller. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. You have to call us back 0805 500 9850 0805 500 9850. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Ojo Michael calling from Olomi Kingdom.
Good to have you, sir.
Yes, about the travel of the Okwama people, or what happened to them. Yes, to me personally, that's what I expect, because they've called for trouble and they're seeing trouble. If those are not killed, this will not happen. Yes, I expect this from the soldiers, because why would they behave like that? They don't do the normal thing. They don't do the needful. So we should expect this. Yes, again about the pension, the pension. Governor pension and their deputy. Yes, they should be paid, because they serve us. You will say something if they serve us diligently. But what I want to say is that they should not. The money should not be too much. So they should pay. They are entitled to it. They should pay. They should pay that. And God bless you. Enjoy your day.
God bless you too.
You.
Thanks for calling. 0805 500 9850 0805 500 9850. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. I'm Julie. I'm calling from Calabar. Now, on the pension issue that for ex-governors and their deputies. So in this part of the world, especially in Nigeria, we take things that are not legal as legal, and things that are illegal as legal, and everybody used to be comfortable with it until something just happened. We all know this thing is not legal, but look at the years these people have been taking this thing at the expense of the people. A poor country, a poverty capital of the world, and some people are living part on it, and nobody seems to do it. We just complain, and nothing will be done. Now, I think since something is about to be done now, let me just put it that way. I think it should be done thoroughly. Because it's very insane. How can you be paying somebody that has spent 8 years and has lived part on the state and you are paying it, which is not done anywhere in the civilized world. It's not done. These people travel out. They are not at home now. Ministers, governors, senators, they don't stay out to Nigeria. And after that, they will be demanding for pension. And we be paying them. Nigeria is the most. I only go junior. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. 0805 500 9850. Please don't abuse Nigerians that way. One go. One lamb more.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
This is Ade from Ife.
Good to have you, Mr. Ade.
Thank you very much. I want to talk about this pension or no pension for the ex-governors. I like one of our auditors this morning for making reference to Dr. OLUYOLEFM that time. When someone serves as a governor for just 3 or 4 months, it's no more a poor man. But now somebody worked for 4 years or 8 years, he will still be collecting pension. Is this country meant for only these people? How can somebody who worked for 8 years collect pension? The security vote is there. There are other packages following this. That is why our budget has no meaning. The budget is only meant for them. The masses are suffering. Then you are collecting millions every month. Somebody who worked for 35 years. I was once a NEPA staff, retired in Kanji Power Station. How much did I collect for that 35 years with the series of injuries I sustained in the power station? These people are now looking for money, every kind money. The country is not designed for only them. It's not designed for only them. They should be careful. The fear of God should be there. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Adi.
Thank you. 0805 500 9850.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you.
So God bless you, Jesus Christ.
Amen.
May not be sad in Jesus Christ. God continue to uplift you.
Amen.
The question is,
are we running a democracy, autocracy, or whichever? No, I don't understand.
It appears to be a combination of all. Nigerian version of democracy.
They are no longer listening to the people. It seems as if the views and the opinions of the people have nothing to do with their government at all. It is very unfortunate. Somebody who served for 38, 35 years, 20 years, hardly gets his or benefit. Imagine, don't want somebody is in power and they have the green barrel, whatever. So we others have now surrogates under them. We just run after them. We just agree with whatever they do. What they are saying is very wrong. Nigeria is regarded as a poverty nation. So therefore they have to deal with the issue of poverty first. Other problems, problem security. And then at the end of the day, you take care of the workers and the retired people. And even including those the market women and others too. So it's very important. Then at the same time, on the issue of student loans, why is it that government is not prepared to pay the students bursary or give free education at all levels? What is wrong with us in this country, Nigeria? That is that. 2, we are producing people in Nigeria, we are educating our children to be useful to outsiders. Nigerians are being trained and they are now useful for them in UK, US, and also you have to think about it. To talk for concern. Thank you very much. That was just from my brother.
Thank you very, very much. We really appreciate you. All right, Tola. This one before we go. 157 soldiers set for deployment on peacekeeping mission to Sudan. Yes, Sudan is Africa. South Sudan precisely. And I say, why not first deploy some of them, or all of them, to Sambisa Forest, or the hideouts of the bandits and criminal elements in Nigeria, and at least in that manner that you are treating the Opuoma people, or that enclave. Make those areas too military zone and keep off, so that you destroy all the bad elements and those who are terrorizing this country,
Well,
those who are abducting our pupils, our kids.
Well, except for Okwama,
unjustly.
the terrain is difficult in all those places you have mentioned. They are there, but the terrain is difficult. So
And
that's why
South
they are not
Sudan
achieving
terrain
anything.
is not difficult.
It's not.
Adantani, Danley. You are a cheerful giver out there, but within your home, poverty strikes, and a striking one. It's obvious. You are not a good rat. That's what some people would say. All right, charity should begin from home. Let's fix our internal problems before we play the big brother role that we lack the capacity to even implement most times.
We have to go, and we'll be back same time tomorrow morning, God willing, on Conversation. My name is Tola Teriba.
I remain yours faithfully, Sheil Oyelo. Thanks for always enjoying conversation with us. Next is Spot Tidbit. Toby Ajewale is fully loaded, ready to deliver on the show today. Toby Ajewale, a very good morning to you.
Top of the day to you, Share. On top of the day to you, Tola. Yes, we're here to talk sports, and within the last 24 hours, a whole lot went down in the world of sports. At the ongoing African Games in Accra, Ghana, it was a day for a haul of gold medals for Team Nigeria. Yesterday.
Good one.
Yes, I tell you. And yes, a speed star in Toby Amuson. She definitely defended African Games title by winning the 100 meters women's hurdles event. And moments later, she was in action for the 4x100 meters relay women team, which also won gold yesterday. Nigeria won gold in the men's 400 meters men's event yesterday. So definitely it was a whole medal haul as the Nigerian national anthem was sung with so much gusto yesterday after the medal presentation was done. The games will continue today. Games gradually winding down. The international break is also upon us. Nigeria is in Marrakesh.
I'm expecting another gold. Yes, the female football.
Yes. We'll be coming up against the female black queens, as they call them. Talking about the under 20 women's team. That's the Falconets. They'll be coming up against the under 20 female team of the host nation, Ghana.
Wow.
Yes, after the male team couldn't qualify for the semi-finals, not even talk about the final. So a whole lot will be in stock for Team Nigeria, and also the Super Eagles of Nigeria also too. They will be in action later this weekend. Yes, it will be against the Black Stars of Ghana, but that will be in Marrakesh in one of the two FIFA international friendly games which the Super Eagles will be playing next week. We'll be coming up against the Eagles also, but this time to be the Eagles of Mali. That will be Tuesday, but yes, trust us. To keep
one of
you.
the Eagles.
Yes,
Super.
definitely one of the Eagles will be super. But this game against Ghana coming up Friday, some people have dubbed it a grudge match. Why? Remember Qatar 2022, Nigeria didn't qualify. All thanks to Ghana. So people have said it's a grudge match for the Super Eagles, but I just like to tell people, take it easy. It's just a game whereby you win some, you lose some. But yes, Nigeria, Ghana, any day, anytime. Even outside of football, that rivalry. It's even diplomatic sometimes, but yes, we love our brothers. We are brothers on the continent. So yes, trust us to serve you the best right here on Spotted Beat on Oluyole 98.5 FM.
Let's enjoy Spotted Beat with Toby Ajewale.
98.5 Oluyole FM.
TG the Hitmaker. TG the Hitmaker.